Hello, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I want to talk about how you probably should take things, especially when it comes to work or ambition, one day at a time, and just focus on that and don't have to kind of over prepare yourself or over plan yourself into the future. And I'm learning this, of course, even right now. I am a victim of over planning and over preparing things, which I believe is not necessary. Anyway, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Valourine. I'm a solopreneur. I am in Sydney, Australia. This year, 2025, I do mostly chatty vlog, which is like just talking to the camera. But I do also do vlogs in general. If you want to check out my vlogs extensively, I did like 5 days a week last year, 2024. You can check out like my links in the description box below about what else I do on the internet, like what I sell and what I do outside YouTube. Anyway, getting back to the topic, I feel like I have this tendency of over preparing and over uh, like having this extreme faith that things always stand the same way in years and years to come, and that's not the case. And as a result, I have this tendency of just overworking myself to the ground. For example, like when I was starting my print on demand business, and then I uh, switch to a different type of creation. Like I used to, like I do art, and and then halfway in my decade career as a print on demand business, I decided to create something else than artwork. So I went to typography instead. So I basically go down the route of having quote for motivation quotes and everything, and just and with this you can do it in mass. You can do it in bulk, so you can use quotes that from like a evergreen quotes, that one that have been used forever, like maybe a Rumi quote or William Shakespeare quote, and I sell it, and it's still available. Like if you go to my links in the description box in Linktree, you can get to see like my shop, like my quote shop. And with that particular shop, for example, I basically spent like 12 hours, so maybe 24 hours, not 24 hours, that's an exaggeration for sure, like 12 hours in a day. That that is a long time. And every day for a good 2 years, probably 2 3 years, especially when the pandemic hit, I basically just sat down because I couldn't do anything else. I'm chronically ill, so doing online businesses is the only way that I can make money right now for now, because my stamina doesn't allow me to go and get a full-time job. Because right now as I stand, it means like I have to get a new training, a new degree or a new qualifications, and after that I can find new jobs. So in order for me to go back into the workforce out there, I need to do all that, and that seems very taxing to my physical body, and I can't even do like a 9 to 5 at home. That's extremely difficult. So I opted in for print on demand business and on other online businesses that basically require me to do the work, but not but the income is not attached to how many hours you work. It's more to do with what like how many, like how much work you do, and then you can upload it and send it to people and let the marketplace decide whether they like it or not, and if they do, you get money. So it's more like that, like you have a little bit more of scalability. So if you're good at what you do, which I'm probably not, but if you're not good like me, you can do like quality. No, most people who are good do quality. I do quantity because I have to kind of look at myself and see what's my strengths are. My strengths are usually in numbers rather than in quality. Um, but I basically spent years to put so much bulk work up on the website, like on a Redbubble or on Society 6. And I was over planning things because I thought, oh, this business model is gonna work, and people are going to stick around, and this company is going to stick around. Like, of course, like I was so naive, and even though I was in my late 30s by this stage, or my mid 30s, I have that belief that, this thing is gonna be okay. Even though I felt like when you age, you should have a huge amount of cynicism and pessimism that should not allow you to be this optimistic about how the world was going to turn out. But when things work out for you, sometimes you kind of want to believe that it always going to work out. And I basically worked to the bone. When I wake up, I work straight away, except for when I have to take a shower and do all my natural business and eat. I was on my computer basically. I was lying down, but I was definitely on my computer because I couldn't like sit like this. My body couldn't take it, and even though it was just me working on my, on my mouse and on my keyboard using these two fingers because I was basically burnt out. I was putting up like 50 or 60 artwork for every day for years and years, like 10 or 50 artworks every day, uploading them because I was thinking if I have all this artwork online or on the website, I have like 10,000s of them on Society 6 for my Valourine, which is my art shop available right now. But before that, with I also had like Society 6 a court shop, and that was even more. I think I had more than 10,000. I think I have like close to 15,000. And then I really truly believe that it just gonna keep going, and then one day, um, you know, they basically shut down my shop, and I couldn't even get the revenue out from that shop anymore. So I was like, it's gone. It's suddenly gone. And I think that was like my first slap on the face. There were multiple slaps on the face afterwards. Of course, like slowly all the business started dying. Everyone started to go out again, and everyone stopped buying online. And the business suffered, the print on demand industry suffered, and of course, like there are still people out there who are really good at it, and people who are still making a lot and lot of money. I'm not one of those people. I felt like I was just exist. I was just in the right time in the right place, I think. And when that happens, I feel like, oh, I should not have worked 12 hours a day. And trying to like upload and creating all these works up on the website, because now as it stands, 5 years 7 years down the line, like the industry for me is particularly dead. And like for Redbubble, for example, they have basically put a shadow ban on my shop so that it doesn't go into Google shopping, so it won't be found if you search it online. Unless you know the exact web address for my shop, you will not be able to find it online. um, and I feel like, and now they basically taking about half of the earnings that I make if I make a sale on Redbubble, for example. So there is not much money to be made. I stopped uploading to my print on demand sites, even though I still sell a lot of them, and I do still am active in in the Valorant shops here and there, but not as often as I used to. When I was still active, I was basically uploading hundreds and hundreds of artwork every single day. And because like my artwork is mostly abstract, so I can do that. And I do watercolor, so I can do abstract watercolor like 10 20s of them every day, then upload them and sell them that way. It's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time to do, but I truly believe that it was going to be not going to be successful. But I thought like if I put all the bulk of the work up front, that I just have to promote it, non you know every single day, and that's all I have to do, and it'll be okay. Just given like everything just stayed the same, but nothing stayed the same. Now, like even Society 6, the one website that I have been on for about 11 years now, is changing their terms and conditions, and they basically making us artists can't make our own royalty figures anymore. Before, we can sell art prints, and we can like determine like how much we want to sell it, the pricing. So it's like, so every artist is basically have their own pricings for the artworks, and they can determine the royalties that they want to take. So like each artist has a lot of autonomy, and um, they basically have a lot of say because it's their artwork basically. And now they don't. They're basically saying, the platform is basically saying, you can only charge this much, this is the maximum that you can charge in this particular website, on our website. So we are going to abolish any type of differences between you and other artists that we have on the platform, which of course they have full right to do because it is their website. But at the same time, um, I'm just thinking about the years where I was so obsessed about working really hard, and I felt like, oh, the only person that probably was benefiting were these platforms. And I'm not saying the platforms are not struggling, okay, they are. But I'm just saying that, if and I also remember like I used to do the same when I was still working in for other people. It's like I overworked myself, I over prepared, I make sure that the company's clients are taken care of, that I put like the work first before me, before like my own paycheck, for example, before my own well-being. I remember like I couldn't feel like my right foot at all, because I think it was, maybe I was having a kidney infection that I wasn't aware of, but I couldn't really check myself to go and see what's wrong, because I have a report to do that was due tomorrow, or like a financial report that needs to be um, taken care of right there and then. And I just felt like, you should not do this. Like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to over prepare yourself. You don't have to over exert yourself. You don't have to overwork yourself, even if you are working for yourself, even if you are self employed. I feel like the world is keeps changing. The world keeps changing, and it never ever stay the same. Nothing is permanent. So I feel you just have to work as much as or as needed for that moment only, and don't plan too far. Don't plan too far ahead, except for like if you, except when it comes to saving money. Probably that's the only probably that's the only place where it's okay to overplan, or at least like oversave. That's okay. But sometimes, like even when you're over saving, you have to be really strong, because I feel sometimes when you're over saving, and you don't feel like you deserve that amount that you're saving, like things can come into your life that kind of takes away that money. So just make sure that if you oversave and someone or a situation comes to your life, you take away your money, you can say no, I don't have any. Just a lie. And I feel like that's the point of this video, is just trying to tell you, don't overplan things, don't overwork yourself, just overwork enough for that particular period. And I learned this very slowly when I was in, like I remember like talking to this guy when I was in the office, still in the corporate, and the way they play it is basically, if you're working hard, you basically make sure that your manager or your partners or whoever it is that is your director knows that you are working hard, making sure it is noted. But you also have to remember, you can't do it all the time, because if you do it all the time, that becomes part of your personality, or becomes part of who you are, rather than it's an effort that you need to make. If it's not an effort, they will not label it as hard work. That's just you working usually. That's just you working normally. So the way he said it, and he was like always drunk when he was on the job, but he kept rising up on the, at the promotion ladder, but the other people who worked very hard constantly are not promoted. And I heard from the people that work, of course, this is gossip, but I heard from the people that work under him and above him that he's not really good at what he does, and yet he keeps getting promoted. So, what he's really good at doing is playing the perception game and playing and basically selling himself when he is working hard. And I think he said it with his own mouth basically. He said like, yeah, when it's busy I work really hard, and when it's not I have to go, I'm gonna take a day off and go on leave, enjoying my life, enjoying my time here in this company. And I feel like that's how you should approach work. It's like when you're, if especially if you're working for someone else, it's like when you're working hard, you make sure your manager, your everyone above you know you're working hard. You're putting in the time and you're putting in the effort. You're putting in extra mental work and stuff, and then just go under the radar and just do the bare minimum the rest of the time. You don't really need to over plan. It's definitely unnecessary. And when things are hot, I feel like you should not be reactive to it too much. I think that's a mistake that I made when I was in corporate as well, that I was so reactive to it. Especially when you're young, it's really easy to get reactive about things because it's personal. And but if you don't take it personally, the experience changes. I feel like, if it's tough, we just do the bare minimum until circumstances change, because as I said, everything constantly changing. You never know if you're going to get a new manager, for example, or your director is going to get fired or going to resign and create a new company outside, and there will be division, whatever it is happening, reshuffling. Maybe your company is going to be taken over by someone else, and maybe you need to move offices, and then that means like the people surrounding you will be different, and that will create a different atmosphere. So I feel like if something is going astray, just hang on, just hang in there and do the bare minimum and just ride it out, especially, and just focus on other area of your life that is working and kind of derive pleasure from there. And I think that's one thing that I definitely did not learn when I was younger. I feel like that diversity in terms of interests and also where you derive your pleasure from. I felt like in the past, I felt if I'm not successful, if I don't have money, I don't deserve to be happy. I don't deserve to have pleasures in life. And I think that is so wrong. Even when you are working for yourself, even if sometimes your effort is basically linked to your income, which is definitely not true. I put so much effort with very little income. So now I'm learning, just because I put so much effort doesn't mean that you know the result is going to come my way. That's definitely the thing that I learned the past 5 years, is that just because I put effort in, just because I overplan things, just because I plan things ahead and I get myself organized, does not mean I'm going to be rewarded. Um, so the lesson for me is that it's better just for me to chillax and just do what I want and I can. And, and if things get rewarded, it's definitely just because I deserve it. Doesn't mean that I put too much effort into it. Doesn't necessarily need that at all. And I'm okay with it. And I know this particular video comes as a very ironic ending towards, especially today, which is a Saturday um, video, because today I So if you don't know today, like this is posted on the 15th of February. On this day, I posted 6 videos throughout the day, starting from 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 11 p.m. So this is the last video, which probably is going to be very ironic because I am basically saying all the things in this video that is contradictory of what I basically just said as the topic. I think like because I because I'm basically doing a bunch of videos for today, and I am preparing it for it, and I'm putting like a bulk of it. But I wanted to test something, so that's what I wanted to do today. So there is a purpose for it, and I created all of this is the day before, so it's only like one day of planning. It's not like I've done it, a year ago, which is over planning. So yeah, that's my goal right now. I'm just trying not to overplan, I suppose, and trying to take it easy, which is really hard when you are an overplanner and you want things to work out for you and you just keep pushing, even though if you feel like you're pushing a wall, even though you feel like you're breathing water. It's like so thick and it's really hard to breathe. But yeah, take it easy. Just take it easy and chill and don't overwork yourself. Don't overplan things and just enjoy life better. I guess that's just my 40-year-old woman self speaking to hopefully maybe to the younger generations that are still overworking and overburdening themselves. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you're still watching, just a reminder, ING Australia has $125 free bonus cash for new customers that opens new accounts with them. You can check out the links in my description box. All the way down is the last link. And you can check out like the terms and conditions and what you need to do to get like $125 before 31st of March 2025. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.